Alright, so at this point, I feel like I've gone over most of the buffed weapons from the recent hotfix from last Thursday. And honestly, while we were recording the videos and stuff like that, I was really pushing home and driving home the point, saying that these are some of the better buffs. And today we're going to be talking about all of the buffs to the weapons, see how they feel, how they play out, and stuff like that. And then obviously, I want to know your thoughts and opinions on these buffs down below. Let me know your hierarchy, your ranking of these, which weapon you like the most, which weapon you like the least, stuff like that. So with all that stuff being said and out the way, let's just go ahead, let's just get right into it. So I guess we'll start from the bottom and we'll work our way up, at least for me, like least favorite all the way up to like my favorite. We'll start with the bottom. That's going to be the 7th Sense. Now I've not even made a video on the 7th Sense yet. It's an unanointed weapon still at this point, which still just really hurts it. It did get a solid 100% damage buff, which is good. So whenever if they ever allow it to actually receive anointments, that'll be very, very good. And actually, it'll actually be able to be used in the meta more. But for now, it can't get anointments. It's BL3. Like you need anointments. Anyways, I guess we'll go ahead and talk about the Devil's Foursome. Now, these guns, the Foursome. It only received a minor 33% damage buff, but its splash radius doubled, right? It got 100% buff. So what will wind up happening is that it's now in a situation to where you have to have some form of splash damage immunity in your build, so you just don't outright kill yourself with this, because that's what's going to happen. You're going to blow yourself up with this thing, like literally, because it has a set radius. It's not going to travel any further. And you literally have to shoot and back up if you don't have any splash damage just to stay alive. It could be fun, believe me. It could be a fun weapon. I made a video on it. We were rocking a red suit and radiation, just going ham in the paint. It's fun, but it's dangerous. It's like a weaker bloom, basically. That's the best way to put the foursome after its buff. Now the Kings and Queens claws, their damage honestly doesn't feel like the damage buff doesn't even feel like it's all heavily there. It does feel like it does feel like smoother to use. Like it has better handling. Like it shoots faster. It's not as clunky as it felt, but the damage isn't really there. So that's kind of like a null and void. But I still like those weapons better than the ones I mentioned previously, so I put them here anyways. Moving on though, we gotta go ahead and talk about probably the funnest weapon of the bunch of the group here, that being none other than our Butcher. The Butcher is honestly very, very, very fun. It got a very solid 83% damage buff. Very, very good. You can make work with that. But the main thing that it got was that its actual, legendary ability, perk, whatever you want to call it, that allows you it's a fast firing Hyperion shotgun, and the ability, allows you to shoot bullets that miss or hit, they go back into the chamber. And before it got buffed, you noticed that it was there, but you kind of felt like it could be a little bit better. I mean, the chance for the free shot was very, very minuscule. That's what it is. It's not. I'm describing super good advice there. It's a chance for a free shot just in the mag, and it felt like, it was there, but it wasn't as strong. Now it's you can casually just have an infinite shooting Butcher, which is amazing. Very, very good. Very fun. Up here for a reason. Next, we'll go ahead and talk about the Herald. The Herald, honestly, it just hits like a freight train now, casually, in my opinion. We did a recent video on it yesterday, going over the buff, and the thing was just putting in that work. We were playing on the Moes. This thing, it splits into more projectiles than it says on the card, and it sits at over 30k, so it's 30k times 3, and then it splits into 3 more projectiles, so it's 3, and it's actually 6 or 7 projectiles that you actually are shooting. So it just kind of gets absurd quickly, as long as you can get them all to split, which is the only real important thing. Kind of like the BECA in a way. So this and Infernal, oh dude, the Herald and Infernal Wish, oh my god, oh my god, that could be pretty fun, honestly. But yeah, the Herald, it's up there, dude. It's super good. I would not quite say it's better than the Critical. Might have to do a video on that, but it's very, very good for sure. It's closed that gap a little bit, to say the least. Now, coming in at number 1 it's no shocker, dude. The Rowan Skull. I mean, dude, this thing is just an absolute behemoth. It's an animal with how good this thing is. I mean, you can run this thing with just like on any, literally any Vault Hunter. This thing is just gonna tear up mobs casually. It's not like its strong suit is not meant for bossing, but it can still like wreck bosses very easily. You know what I'm saying? It got a 300% damage buff. Like, I know before the buff, all of our Rowan Skulls are sitting at like, you know, 10, 11k ish, and then now they're sitting over 30k on a Rowan Skull. That's absurd. You know, whenever you crit, it's gonna ricochet 2 bullets to the nearest target. You know, that's how the calls work, which is, you know, very, very cool. You're just so strong, and it's anyone who has used one after the buff, I'm pretty sure you're picking up what I'm putting down. What I'm saying, these things are just built different. Like the Rowan Skull is just absolutely insane. Now the Lucian Skull, don't get me wrong, very, very good. It's my personal favorite all-time weapon in the game, but it's not better than the Rowan Skull, at least in my opinion. It's really good, but I don't think it's better than the Rowan Skull. Might have to do, dude. We're gonna have to do a versus video on that. Let me know if y'all want to see that. That would be a pretty good one. Other than that, though, guys, that is going to just about wrap up the video. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below on these buffs. Which weapon you like the most, which weapon you like the least. And if you enjoyed the content and you're new around here, please do consider subscribing. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. Trying to do that by the end of the year. But with all that stuff being said and out the way, hope y'all enjoyed. My name's Kree, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.